Everybody, welcome back. Drew Nikonovich here. Today we're going to take a quick look at how to change the lens board for a large format lens. So I have everything here. Literally all you need is your new lens board, your lens, which I have wrapped, and a spanner wrench. So to get started, I'm just going to get this out of here and uncoil carefully my cable release. I'm also just going to take this off and get it out of the way. So I've already made sure that these lens boards are the same copal number. Again, if you're looking for that information, sometimes it's listed on the ring outside of your lens. Sometimes it's on the base here. So you can see here, mine says copal number 0. And I know that these are both copal 0 boards. So to get started, all you're going to need to do is locate on the back side of the lens this very thin ring that's holding the lens onto the lens board. And you'll notice that as it is right now, I can't get directly down to the little slots, the little notches that are in that, because this rear lens element is in the way. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is very carefully, without touching any of the glass, just gently unscrew this back lens element. And I'm going slow just because I don't want it to unthread and fall onto the table on me. So I'm just being real careful here. I really don't want to mess up this lens. I care a lot about it. There we go. And I'm just going to set this over here real careful like. And so now you can see we have access to these 4 slots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my spanner wrench and remove these little protectors that I have on mine. And I basically need to loosen these 2 pieces until they're the right width. So I'm literally going to set it down into those notches and tighten it up. And so now I have a wrench that is perfectly suited for these 2 slots. And so now all you have to do is just carefully loosen this, and you'll notice with the spanner wrench it makes it real easy to get this off. And so now it's loose, and I can do the rest with my fingers. So now we're going to put that over here. You can see on the back side it has a little bit of an indent, and that's so that it sort of seats properly onto your lens board. So we're going to want to be mindful of that as we put the lens back together. So I have my 2 boards here. Again, we can see that they are the exact same size as far as the copal opening goes. This is copal 0. This board has a lower hole, which is going to influence where your movements are. This might actually be a reason why you might want to swap lens boards potentially. But for now, we're just going to put this back on. The only thing I would be mindful of when you're putting your lens back on is just be mindful of how it's positioned on here and how you like to use your lens. So I'm quite used to, I suppose, what the designer intended, where your settings, your shutter speed and your aperture settings are sort of at the top. I know some people like to have them on one side. If you like to stand on one side of the camera or the other, gives you better access to those numbers. I like to have it sort of pointed straight up more or less. So I'm going to get that roughly in that position. Again, being mindful of this little indent that my sort of nut has here, and I'm going to screw this back on. And as I get close, I'm going to make sure that it's sort of seating properly. I haven't gotten there yet. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now it's seated. And once I get it close to tight, I'm going to flip back to the front and make sure that things are in the position, because the board is kind of flipping around on me. So I'm going to get it about where I want it, like that. And then I'm going to bring my spanner wrench back out, get it seated, and just carefully give it a nice tighten. you know, a little bit more than finger tight. It doesn't take a whole lot. You know, this isn't going anywhere. It's nice and tight. It's you know, it's sealed. So now all I have to do is just get this rear lens element back on here. Make sure that the threads are seating. And then once it's on, you just tighten it up. Make sure it's nice and snug. And that's it. Honestly, if you're going to try and do this without a spanner wrench, I don't know that I recommend that at all. This is going to make your life super easy. If you try to do it without, there's a good chance that you'll sort of strip out these little notches. You know, this little piece of, it's usually aluminum. You know, it's pretty soft. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing this without a spanner wrench. As always, thanks so much for watching. If you have questions, let me know down in the comments. Happy to help how I can. And I'll see you all next time. And I'm going slow just because I don't want it to unthread and fall onto the table on me. So it's back on, and then all I have to do is just get this rear lens. So now all I have to do is,